There are two file extensions that confuse Photoshop beginners, PSD and JPG. In this tutorial, I will talk about which file format we should use under which conditions. You have done some work in Photoshop, and it's time to save the file. If you have saved a work as a PSD file, you can open it later and make changes on it. Or you can continue working on a project you have left unfinished. This is the main purpose of PSD, saving our work so that you can continue working later. Layers, effects, masks can be edited. When you need, you can open this PSD file again and continue editing it. In fact, if I have to show you directly with an example, let this be your workspace, and you add various objects to your workspace. You have prepared a work. You have saved this work as PSD. You close the file and reopened it. Then, since each of these layers is a layer, you can edit and replace these layers. If you save this file as JPG, all layers become a single file and you can't make any edits on these objects. To save a work we have done as PSD, we choose File, Save As, and choose PSD in the window that opens. Let's give it a name. I name it Photoshop. Selecting the Layers option among the options here allows our working layers to be saved in a way that they can be edited later. Since this is the purpose of PSD, the Layers option is already selected by default. If we save by deselecting this option, they will be saved as a single layer, not layered like this. Let's try both and see the difference. Since Layers is marked, I entered the name as Layers, and in the same way, I unchecked the layers and save it with the name Photoshop only. I will close this window now. When I open the folder where I saved the file, you will see the difference in size here. Merged all the layers and saved it as a single layer. It is small in size as it is a single layer. The size of the PSD file with the layers is larger, because it contains editable layers. When we save our Photoshop work as JPEGs, they are saved as a single layer. JPEG files can mostly be used to send to a client after you are done, for publishing on a website, or to save as a single image in the archive when you no longer need a PSD file. To save a work as JPEG in Photoshop, we use the Ctrl-Shift-Alt-S keys, or we use the Save for Web option under File Export. This window that comes up allows you to save the image with different options, such as resizing the quality of the file you will save. We can even save the file with image formats other than JPEG from here. I chose it as JPEG. I can improve its quality. Depends on what you are going to do. Look on the left. How many kilobytes is specified. It changes as you decrease the quality. It's currently 125 kilobytes. I reduced the quality by 50%. As you can see, it's down to 37 kilobytes. Therefore, the size of the file decreases as the quality decreases. Let's enter an average value. Let's enter 80. When we enter 80, the presets here also change within themselves. For example, when I select the medium option, I see that the quality is 30. When I select the maximum option, it is 100. And when I select the very high option, it is 80 as before. I click the Save button, I save the file again, and this time the extension will of course be JPEG, because we can't save as PSD from here. We save it as JPEG, or, as I just said, we can save it in a format among the options here. I click the Save button. When I save it as JPEG, although it appears as layered. When I open the file I saved with Photoshop, we will see that it is not layered. All layers are merged and saved as a single layer. And as you can see, the size of this JPEG file is much less than all of them. When I open the JPEG file, it appears here as a single layer. You can see that it is larger when we save the layer option after deactivating it, because it is PSD. It doesn't go through any optimization process. It records directly in the highest quality. But the downside is that it doesn't have layers. If we look at the size of these files, it is normal for the file size to be higher than JPEG files, since PSD files save all layers as they are without compression. There are also JPEG files, but there is no difference between JPG and JPEG, except for a single letter. JPG is an extension from the 3-letter extensions of very old versions of Windows. The original is JPEG. It started to be used as JPEG after the end of the 3-letter restriction, but JPG remained widespread. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.